Hello and welcome to part 1 of the USS Nimitz 1700 scale build, kit by Trumpeter. And first of all, before we do anything, I'll like to suggest you go back, if you haven't already seen it, I have the unboxing video of this, so you get an idea of what I'm tackling here. And to start with, I guess we should start with the instructions. And the best place to start on the instructions is step 1. Now, this kit, being an aircraft carrier, step 1 is straight away where you've got to place in the hangar deck. Needs to go on the inside the ship. So that means we have to decide which hangar deck floor to use. And because this comes with both plastic and clear hangar decks, we have to have a look and see what we can do. Okay, so in here we have the floor of the hangar deck. That's there. We also have, I'll open this up, a clear floor of the hangar deck. Open it up. So there is the clear one. Take that out of the way. Look at them there. So, which one to use? Now, the way I was thinking was, if there was a clear floor, what are you going to see through that? All you're going to see is inside the hull. That's not very interesting. That's assuming you're going to put on the clear flight deck. And to be honest, let's have a look at this flight deck. Certainly a different idea, but see how that's a frosted sort of glass and it's got all the little markings on there, so it's not really that clear. I mean, look, you can see through it, but not clearly. And then if this was underneath there, and then you wanted to look through further, yeah, that's, you know, I don't know, we're not going to see much. And the inside of the hull, that, so all you're going to see through the hangar bay floor is the inside of that, which is nothing. And you will also see some of this. All right, so it's going to go in like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to put the clear floor in. I'm going to put in the plastic one, this one. That's going to go in there, and that'll be painted. We'll paint the hangar deck floor. So that's the first decision on this kit you have to make. So I'll be doing that. Also, there's paint. So to work out my paint scheme, I mean, it comes with the suggested paints to use. So we've got all the suggested colors to use here. But it doesn't have, I'm going to use Tamiya paints, and it doesn't have a Tamiya, it only has Mr. Hobby. Or what was the other one? It was Mr. Hobby or Mr. Color. Now, to get the grey of the ship, I've decided to go with, there they are. So I've gone with the XF-75. This is the grey, Arsenal grey. This is the same colour I used on my Kitty Hawk, and I really like the way that came out. So I'm sticking with what I think is going to look good. Now, what I did decide to do though is paint the inside walls of the hangar bay a lighter grey, and I've gone with this sky grey XF-19. So XF-19 for the walls, just to make it a little bit lighter inside, because I'm also not going to use the transparent flight deck. I'm going to use the solid flight deck. So the only way you'll be able to see inside this ship will be through the sides here where the elevators are. So, and you won't be able to see much anyway, although I am seriously thinking of lighting this with an LED strip, which I did on the Kitty Hawk. So yeah, to light this up, I think that'll be so yeah, so that's my grey XF-75. Of course, we've got to paint this. Now this is going to be a darker grey, possibly even towards black. I'm going to go and have a look at some reference photos. But I did on my Kitty Hawk, it didn't come with a hangar bay, but I built one anyway. And I do remember painting that black. It might have been NATO black, but I did paint it all black in there. It will probably be the same color as what I would paint the flight deck. Yeah, so as much as it came with all, great idea to use all this transparent stuff would be certainly interesting. I mean, if I was going to build it with a clear flight deck, then I would have the solid base of the floor in, and then I'd have that on top. Then you can look down and see, detail that up really nice in there, and you'll be able to see everything underneath. But because this is going on a seascape diorama, yeah, I think I want my flight deck looking properly like a working flight deck. If it was going up on just as a separate display, so not looking like it's out in the ocean in action, then sure, this might be an option to use these. All right, so that aside, so my first thing to do with this in part one, I guess, we'll be having to prime this and paint this. We go to the instructions. There's also some holes to be drilled in these. It just says make hole, but doesn't tell you the size. So probably guessing 0.5 mil holes. I'll see why we're drilling holes there and what's going to be attached there, because they're talking about these little marks here where all these points are. It seems like, yeah, some of these have to be drilled out, and it looks like they're situated where the hangar walls are going to go. So maybe they're secured down with those. I'm not too sure. Anyway, so I will drill the holes. I'll get this painted, and then also part one, there's a few other parts here. There's also the option to have those holes in the side of the hole here. You can have them closed as well. There's these doors, giant doors that go on the side that you can have closed. I will have them open because I want people to see in there. I want to be able to look in there, so I'll have them open. Maybe I'll have one closed just to show the difference. I might have one closed. We'll see. We'll see. Decisions to be made. So it looks like there's a few other bits and pieces that will go inside in here. Those frames I was talking about go where those elevators are. They go on pretty early as well. And some other bits of the elevator lifting devices, lifting sections where they slide up and down on the outside of the ship. These pieces that are going to go either side here, they need to be attached, which is good because I can attach those because they can get painted after this gets painted, so they can already be on. The same with there's a piece that goes on here, looks like, that can be attached. So a lot of external stuff on there can go on. That's that side. Then on the opposite side, there's a few things as well. And then it's going back to doing the walls on the hangar bay, which will have to be painted before they're put in. I just want to do them separately so that there's nothing in my way. I've got proper angle and I'm not getting paint anywhere else. So I'll paint them separately. And with these Trumpeter ones, it's a good idea to go ahead, look ahead. Like always check 2 or 3 steps ahead in the instructions because you know, there are times, particularly when you're painting a model, where you want to fit things in a certain order. So, for instance, all of these parts here that are all part of the hangar bay. Now, I know that I will have to paint them all individually before I connect them onto the hangar bay because the floor of it, this section is going to be painted black. So it'd be awkward to paint them if they were attached to it. So I'll do that. There's quite a lot of bits and pieces in this hangar bay, so, and I'll probably scratch build a few things myself, just to add to it. All right, so without getting too far ahead, that's enough work cut out for myself. But first, before any of that, what I'm going to do, I always do this before I start any model, is that I will go through all the sprues because there's quite a few of these. I'm thinking there's about, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. There's probably about 15 of these. But what I do is I go, right, there's sprue C, and there'll be 2 of those in the packet. Oh no, there's D as well. There's C and D. So what I do is I grab some of my masking tape. I take a bit of that off, this, like that. Then I will put on this C and D, like this, bring it up and put that on there. So now I know, without straining my eyes and trying to find that I can see from a distance, sprue C and D in there. I need to get to sprue C and I can see where it is easily. And what I do is, because there's a few of these, I'll put all of these in a box. To my left here, I'll sit all the sprues in a box up where I can see where I've marked them all, and then I can just reach over for whatever I need. And then I put them back in the bags as well. The reason I like to put them back in the bags is sometimes there's some very small parts that could get knocked off. If you have these lying around, I'd rather have a piece knocked off and get lost in the bag where I'll find it in the bottom again, more chance of that, than to pick up a sprue that's down on my bench somewhere and look for a part and it's not there, and hope it's still on my bench and I can find it, or it's gone down to the carpet monster. So yeah, get yourself in order first. So all right, so I'll go do that now. I'll sort all my sprues out, and I'll label them all, get them all in their box ready, and we'll come back and make a start on this. Be back in a second. Hello, welcome back. And as you can see, I got myself all organized now. Thought I'd show you from a different angle of my work area on the dining table here, which never gets used as a dining table anymore. So yeah, so my mat's out. I've got the hole and stuff in the box that came in sitting there. All my sprues are labeled in the box. Down in here, we've got all the photo etch pieces are down inside there as well, from the Edard kit. So everything's within reach. My little tile there for working on photo etch. All my labels and files and all the other little tools and putty and all that stuff is all in there. My instructions are laid out here, I can see. So we got the Trumpeter instructions, the Edard photo etch instructions, all where I can see everything, and I mark everything off as I go, and I circle all the parts as they're completed. Up on the top is, I don't know if you want to see that, but I've got a tripod up the top there. This is my light, but my tripod there is for my new, well not new, it's an old camera. It's a Canon 550D. There it is there, which I'm hoping to get it working so I can film with it, because I get a really good quality photo image out of this. The problem I'm having with it is that the cable that connects it to my laptop, which you'll see is there, doesn't recognize the camera, so I can't use the laptop screen to see what I'm filming. So if this is mounted up on the tripod facing down over the work area, I can't see the screen of what's being shown, and I can't connect it so I could look on the laptop and see it. So I need to get a cable that works properly that'll let me do that. Hopefully, otherwise at the moment I go and take it and set up in the tripod and take it in the room where I do my airbrushing, and I'll do some shots, or I can maybe record a little bit and just take it off the memory card. But my system here is with OBS Studio on the laptop, which connects to the camera I'm filming with now, which is just a webcam that does 1080p, and it connects directly into the laptop, so I can see, you can see there, I can see what I'm filming, I can see what's on the screen, and everything's just a mouse click control to pause the recording, stop recording, whatever. But this, when it's mounted, the camera when it's mounted up on the tripod, it's awkward because I have to stop talking what I'm doing, then get up, almost stand on my chair to look to see on the screen, hit the stop button, and yeah, I need to have that projected on the screen to use it. So also close by I have my, you know, my tools, all these master tools, blades, my glues, sprue glue, my paste glue for photo etch, my lighter for burning the glue off the end of my applicator. All those are kept handy. The little post-it pads I put my glue on to work from, and then I tear off a page when it's full. But now I've heard somebody said something about candles, using candle wax or yeah, something like that. You put your glue on and it doesn't dry. It doesn't dry as quick. Because I waste so much of this CA glue. It's terrible. Like, I might just put one drop on there, but I'll only use a fraction of that drop doing the pieces I'm doing, and then it's dried too much for me to use it, so I have to put another drop. I'm using literally 5% of what I actually need. So yeah, I need to do something about that. Here's the paints that we spoke about earlier. They've got to go in the other room with my airbrush. I'll put them away. But that's it, you know, and I got toothpicks in there. Toothpicks to hold parts with, blue tack as well, using the blue tack. I've got, when you look right around here, my coffee cup. Got to have the coffee cup, that's essential. I've got some pliers here, some nippers, brew cutters, more tweezers, bits and pieces in there. Also my wax pencils for holding the small bits of photo etch. And you'll also see over the back there my garbage bin, plastic containers, because I build up parts, like in some of these kits where you got to build certain structures and put them aside. Like some you got to build guns and put them aside. I use these containers to put them in. They're safely put aside. Or if they're too big, I've got these little plastic shot glasses, and they're good for keeping little, you know, little pieces that you've put together in. Keep that all there. And of course, when they're all stacked away and all the little structures are all put away, I'll stack them all over in this area where I'm not going to bump anything. Nothing's going to get moved. There's less chance of anything breaking. All right. There's some of my models over there. You can see my Kitty Hawk. I'll have a quick look over there. So there's my 350 Trumpeter Kitty Hawk with the MK1 detail kit. Up there was the 200 Arizona Trumpeter kit, which was the last major build I did. Pride of place on the top shelf. We've got another aircraft carrier down the bottom there, the Franklin. There's a Japanese Chikuma. There's a submarine. And then I have another one of these shelves in the other room where I've got the Missouri and the Hood, all 350 Scar. So anyway, that's about all I need to show for the moment. So yeah, I'm going to go, I think, and give that undercoat of Stynel Res. May as well make a start on it. I might just check the instructions, although I've got to put some holes in it. That's what I've got to do. So I'm going to drill out those holes first, and there may be some other little bits and pieces that are going to go on that, going by the instructions, that need to be painted. Yeah, we'll see. There's some parts that can go on this before it gets painted. So anyway, all good. Follow us along. I might end this video here. It's been going for about 20 minutes or so. It's going to keep them about that size. So in part 2, we'll continue on from here. Please subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. And if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. It helps. And comment below if you've built this kit before, the 1700. Give us a few hints and, you know, tips and ideas of problems I might come across. Give me a bit of a heads up, or just comment on anything below. Let us know what you think, and follow us. And like I said, go back into the playlists and you'll see the The first video of this was the unboxing. We won't go through all the details of the kit. And of course you can go back and look at all my other builds, but anyway, that's enough talking, so I'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye for now. Cheers.